matter how you slice it.
And man didn't do it. And they buried him in the exhaust chamber. That's not a burial chamber. That's the podunkest looking
Exhaustion.
burial chamber I've ever seen in my life, man. It ain't even in there, man. Nah. Listen, and they know it. We're arguing about it, but the people at the top, they know we didn't build it. They don't want to come out and say these guys built it because now you got the world's
Well,
largest monument to their
okay.
existence down
So
here.
let's take that for a minute, right? Here's what we do know. Well, here's what the rumor is. One of the rumors that floats around from this whole UAP congressional hearing stuff
Hmm?
is that we have multiple non-terrestrial craft. One of the big rumors that I've consistently heard is that one of them is too large for us to move.
What? Ooh.
And it's been here a really long time.
You know what? You know what?
Now,
The Egyptians
here's
built
my
it. The
thought.
Egyptians could move it. They could move it.
Here's my thought. What if it's in Israel? What if it's under the Temple Mount?
Well, that's a good question.
Right? What if that's what's like, what if it's way down underneath there and the Templars found it? Right? Or
Mm.
during World War II, somebody else found it, or whatever. Maybe it's found multiple times and people misunderstand what it is until all of a sudden in World War II, we do understand what it is. And it's in our best interest to guard it. And who better to guard it than the people who have an ancestral claim to the land?
No, that's a good point.
Just a thought. It's
You know
a
what? You know.
weird loony theory that just popped out of my brain right at this moment.
So, and here's another one too. Here's one that I'm following. Mysterious Planet. Our buddy Scott. If you guys don't follow him yet, man, you should go follow his channel, man. He drops a lot of like he's deep into this stuff. And I saw something on his channel that this one blew my mind, bro. Like I'm not impressed. I've been on the alien game for a long time, right? So this doesn't impress me. This impressed me, right? That they have a craft that is like a normal craft. We'll just say 10 by 10 foot wide. But you go in it. It's just, once you get inside, it's inside of a football field, right? Like there's some kind.
Like a TARDIS.
Yeah, did you hear about that? Like some spatial distortion. That freaks me out. That blows my
Bigger on the
mind.
inside.
Huh?
Bigger on the inside.
Yeah, that blows my mind right there. Right. That right there
That's
is
like the whole premise of Doctor Who.
yeah.
You realize, right?
I never seen one episode, man.
Okay, well, let me just tell you, that is literally the whole premise of the Doctor Who spaceship that he flies around on, that blue box,
Bro,
right?
that is amazing. That right there is what if you're any type of theoretical physicist, that right there should be your goal, right? That right there. That is actually science coming into play right there. That is
Pocket
amazing.
dimension.
Yeah, man. Pocket dimensions, man.
Hell yeah, man. I'll take one.
I
Of
want one.
course.
Right, exactly, right?
Right? That
Stepping
solves
up.
the housing problem right there.
Boom. Yeah. So I thought to myself, and like they were saying that is, and I totally agree with that. Right. That even to what we know today and what we're desensitized to today, that would blow my mind. That
Oh
right
yeah.
there today, right now,
Look,
blows
here's
my
a Tic
mind.
Tac video, and that blows my mind
Ooh.
because for me the UFO thing was always kind of a vague interest, just
Mm.
because like I have a hard time believing that with all the stars that there are existent in the galaxy, that we are the only intelligent life that has popped up ever. Right? I'm
True.
not saying that we're existing at the same time or anything like that, because there's probabilities there that are crazy, right? But to discount to discount there being anything but us in the whole galaxy is, I think, really egotistical and kind
Oh,
of
bro, it's
unrealistic.
it's narcissistic arrogance at its height, bro. Right? We're it.
Right. So, who
You see my
knows?
shirt,
There could
right?
be a
We're it.
right.
Right?
Could be many, many planets out there, and they could
Yeah.
just be inhabited by small creatures. Who knows?
Yeah, man.
But we got to acknowledge the fact that probability states that there's at least one other world in this galaxy that has some kind of life on it,
Yeah.
right?
I go the opposite direction. I've said this before, man. I think there's life everywhere. Everywhere. I was doing this.
Well, if you read this book, it would lead you to believe that, wouldn't it?
Yeah, everywhere,
You'd have
man.
at least two or three different types of entities here that are described in ancient legends,
Yeah.
right?
And so there's a great theory. There's a great theory too, or I don't know if you'd call it a theory or whatever, or it's actually getting a lot of steam. You ever heard about these? This plays into the Book of Enoch as well, man. You ever heard about these tall whites?
Yeah, it just kind of entered into my
Into your orbit there.
orbit. Yeah,
Supposedly those are the Tic Tac boys, the tall whites, right? And also too, the tall whites are supposed to be the ones that are in Antarctica. They're supposed to be the ones that that made up the Norse mythology pantheon, right? Like so.
So Odin was a tall white.
It's what it says supposedly, right? Yeah, it was a tall white, right? And they're not our friends. They're not openly hostile to us, but they also back the Germans or whatever, supposedly, right? They gave the Germans the technology as well. They're very indifferent of us. They want to study us, right? It's, about
that would track, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So their lifespan's about 900 years, and yeah, and so that would be
I feel like it all feeds into the one kind of conclusion, right? Like, okay, so we're gonna operate under the premise that all stories are true.
Yeah.
Okay. All stories are true. They lead us to one conclusion. There was an experiment or some kind of thing, and there was an event that happened involving non-terrestrial entities that triggered what is rumored to be a cleansing, right? It all just really sounds very experimental.
Yeah.
To me.
And even when you go,
Like, what do you do? Okay, so let's couch it like this. You're at Aberdeen.
Subscribe now and turn on the notifications to join us on this extraordinary journey into the unknown.